Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
I'm starting something new and I'm going to start clipping my microphone on my shirt because when I hold it like this, I feel like it's distracting. What do you think? What's up, y'all? I'm back. I just took a little hiatus. I can explain. I feel like everyone wants to become a YouTuber or a content creator. Like, that's the way out of the never-ending cycle of financial struggle. Do you want to become a YouTuber? If you're someone who wants to start a YouTube channel and don't know where to start, me too. People say post, 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 like just post every day, be consistent. But if it feels like a chore, does that mean that it's not my purpose? I believe that what's for you will naturally find you. That might sound like a fairy tale or cliche, but my 29 years of being on this earth, I'm starting to realize that's what it comes to. If I'm meant to be successful at anything, it won't feel like a chore. Don't get me wrong. There are going to be days where you just don't want to do it. But there's going to be times where you have confirmations that you're at the right place at the right time. Impatience is such a bitch. But nothing worth having can be treated like a get-rich-quick scheme. I feel like a lot of people, we change callings every freaking month. Like every time, we all know that one person that every time you see them, they have a new job or like they're trying a new thing to make money. Like they're selling something online or they're making a small business which turns into a different one next week. And it's just like, girl, like you're not gonna go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and you got $1 million in your bank account. Like, it takes work, struggle, and all these things. I feel like I've been gone so long that I'm rusty at this because I'm talking so fast and like slurring my words, and that comes from stress, and I'm working on it. Oh, if you're wondering why I'm like bedazzled out, like sometimes I like to dress up, even though I'm just sitting around the house playing Mortal Kombat. It just reminds me that I'm still young and hot, you know what I'm saying? Back to the point of this video. Lately, I have been wanting to do certain things in life, and I've been battling back and forth if I want to do it because I'm being called to do it or because I feel pressured to do it. And that includes being an influencer. I'm stuck in a hard place where should I share my life experiences with other people to help them, or should I just keep my situations to myself to prevent jinxing anything? No matter what my calling is specifically, I know that I was put on this earth to help people one way or another. And I do feel like I'm doing that when I make videos, including when I do this. I feel like I'm helping myself as well because it really feels good when you don't have anyone to open up to in real life and you can't afford a therapist. It feels good to just like talk to the camera because I can feel that there's someone looking back at me. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking to you guys in like real time. When it comes to just like letting God take the wheel and just letting things naturally happen on their own, I've always struggled with that because I was always taught, like in grade school, for example, that if you want your college degree, if you want your high school diploma, you're gonna have to work for it. You can't just not study, not go to class, and expect your end goal to fall in your lap. You know what I mean? That just kind of became cemented into my head in real life. So for example, when I lived in LA and I was modeling full time and just doing the entertainment thing full time, I had the same attitude towards entertainment as I did education and academics. I feel like Hollywood taught me that you definitely have to have patience and you really have to have the confidence that the role or the gig that is meant for you to have, you will have. And when you know that you've done all you can to get that role or a gig, if you don't get it, it just wasn't for you. Now, if you don't give something your all and you don't get it, then the not knowing of if you had given it your all, would you have gotten it, should be a motivation for the future to always give something your all. But I used to give it my all and not get something, and I would feel like, well, I wasn't good enough because I gave it my all and I didn't get it. Just because you give something your all doesn't mean that you're owed it. You're owed it, sorry. Just like in school, you could study your ass off, but you might have a day where you like don't do as well on that test as you thought you would because you studied. Maybe you overstudied. Maybe you overthought it. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it just wasn't your day because nobody's perfect. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you passed that class. And if you didn't, you retook it and passed it. And if you didn't, then it wasn't for you to pass it. And that's okay. It was a learning experience. You always get something positive out of an outcome. And some outcomes, it's harder to see that, you know what I mean? But eventually you do. And it prepares you for the next thing. But let me give you an example of what I mean by what's for you is for you. So I always use my modeling journey because that's, as of right now in my life, that's the most exciting chapter in my life so far. So when I first got into modeling, like I said, I'm just ambitious and passionate about things. And when I go for something, I literally put my all into it. I decided I wanted to become a full-time model with a reputable agent, like the real deal, the whole shebang. I would go for these things, and as far as getting a reputable agent and being a part of a reputable agency, that's just gonna happen when it's supposed to. And being a full-time working model in general literally just happens if and when it's supposed to. Like, a lot of my friends are models because I was in the industry so hard, but I had never been signed by like a reputable agent, which is crazy. But I've been on big sets and done all that cool things, but I just always felt like no matter what, I was always on the outside looking in. So with my personal experience, I personally had never met a guy, a male model who was a full-time model, had a reputable agent who was signed to the agencies that I wanted to be signed to, that was booking big brands like PacSun, Urban Outfitters, Zara, you name it. Um, Literally all of them have like the same story damn near. Model Scout found them and was like, hey, I want to sign you. None of them went to the agencies or submitted an application online and said, I want to be a model. Now, don't get me wrong, that happens all the time. But in my personal experience, when I told male models like my story, oh yeah, I've been going to all kind of open calls, I've been doing this and that, la 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 la. They looked at me like, damn, for real? Like, I was just walking down the street one day and a model scout found me and was like, hey, you should be a model. And boom, you know, it was that easy. And that would kind of make me feel bad because I'm like, damn, like, am I just not meant to be a model? Like, everyone around me, like, it's, you know, and there were even times where like friends of mine that would bring me into the agency with them to meet their model, like their modeling agents, and I still wouldn't get signs. And you hear that story too. A gal say, oh yeah, my friend was a model or a photographer, and they brought me with them to a meeting with their model agent, and they signed me. Didn't happen. It was always like, you know, we're just not looking for your look right now, but keep trying. Like, what? I'm the, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, I've always been confident in myself too. That's why it was so hard for me to accept, like, seriously, I'm like a bad bitch. Like, how you don't want to sign me? When it's your time, it's your time. And I use modeling as an example, but entertainment in general is like that. You can apply that to literally anything, whether it's somebody that you want to be in a relationship with, a job opportunity, whatever it is. What's for you is for you. You may really want something and you'll thank God in the end you didn't get it. Or when you finally get it, you'll be glad that you didn't get it at that time because you realized you wasn't ready to get it then. But you was ready to get it now. Can I get a hallelujah? Okay. Even now, I'm still practicing on this giving it all to God. When you literally know that you've tried and done everything to get it yourself, and you feel like, damn, there's nothing else I can do, that's when God is saying, give it to me. Hello, I'm right here. Like, there's moments where I'm like, well, damn, what else can I do? Because I'm just a go-getter. Like, I was taught to be that way. And when I've tried everything and I feel helpless, like, damn, I don't know what else to do. That's when I remember, like, oh yeah, I gotta give it to God and live and let live. You know what I'm saying? Like Wendy Williams said. So with the YouTube, content creator wave, I'm just gonna ignore the pressure of doing so and just like do it when it feels like it's time to do it. I just feel like in my spirit, it's not for me to post every day, at least not right now. Some people do post every day. Like my cousin, she posts every day. She's been posting every day for like a year, and I'm so proud of her. Her content is getting better and better, and like she really inspires me to get on my grind because I inspired her in the beginning to do YouTube, and now I feel myself kind of like not necessarily being discouraged in things, but kind of being in this awkward place of isolation where I just want to kind of be in the dark for a little while. But then I feel this reminder of don't be gone too long. Not because of like the pressure of social media, but just for me and my goals and ambitions. But anyway, we cannot let anybody but God influence our journeys. Like, you really have to ask yourself, why do I want to do this? Is it because of what I see on social media? Or is it because I want to be famous? Or is it because I genuinely feel like God is pulling me to do this? And that's your answer. Speaking of God, I used to be so confused when people would say, when you're going through something and people would say, just pray about it. I used to get annoyed because like, well, what does that mean? Like, could you elaborate? Now I get it. At this point in my life, when people say pray about something, you also have to practice attentiveness, like opening your eyes, like opening your third eye, so to speak, and really just paying attention to signs and when God is talking to you. And obviously, he's not gonna physically like, stick his head out of the clouds and talk to you. If he does, let me know, cause like I'm curious. But look into angel numbers and a lot of people, some people believe in that, some people don't, but I do. I genuinely think that if you see the same number all the time, that I feel like this God like sending you a message. And I always just go to TikTok and look that up. Like, what does 444 mean? What does 1212 mean? I keep seeing the number 4, the number 11. What does that mean? What is God telling me? And whether that's real or not, I feel like that can really like help you find sanity in this world today. Because God, like, he knows what you're going through. He just sends reminders here and there that, hey, I'm still working. Like me, for example, I would get so frustrated, and it took me a while to understand this. But for example, another reason why I was gone for a while, for like 2 or 3 months, I was going through a casting process for this dating show. I ain't gonna say what it was. And everything was going well. At first, I wasn't taking it seriously because I know how this casting stuff works now. Can't get too excited. I guess I had never made it this far in the casting process. It had been almost 3 months, if not 3 months, of speaking with the producers of like the show and like the streaming service and all this stuff, and like the what else, the medical psychological exams and all these things that I had been going through. And constant, just like talking back and forth with like the casting director, like, oh, they love you, oh, you're, da 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 for 3 months, right? So, like the week of when I was gonna get flown to the location, they decided that they were no longer going to move forward with me, and I was so devastated. I had told my job that I was leaving for like a month and all that, and the week of, y'all just say you not go. I was devastated. I cried because I also drove like 4 hours to another state to get a passport because that's something that I needed. I got it expedited. It came like the next day. It was this whole adventure. Went through hell to go get my blood done at LabCorp and like a town, not a town, but a city like almost 2 hours away because I live in a small town in the South where nothing is around. And it didn't happen. I'm like, God, why? And I realized God was showing me, you could have this, but I got something better for you. God was showing me like, I could give you this. You see how close you got. You didn't get it because you wasn't good enough. I just told them not to give it to you because this was a lesson to show you like you are good enough for the things that you want, but I have something way better for you. I get it. I get it. The right people, the right opportunities will come and it'll be undeniable. You won't have to question, is this from God? Because it's when it starts, it's gonna be like a blooming flower. Ain't nothing gonna stop it. everything is just gonna fall into place. And it sounds so corny, but I've seen it happen myself for me. That's another thing. When we feel discouraged in life, one thing that helps me is when I think back on all of the things that I prayed for that I have today and all of the blessings that I have today. I'm alive, I'm well, I'm healthy, I am in my right mind, I have all my fingers and toes, I have a roof over my head, I have people in my life that love me, all of these things, and that really helps me out. So I just wanted to pop back up in your life and give you like some words of encouragement, because I feel like so many of us are going through the same things. And by any means, I'm not like a pastor or anything. I just like to speak from the heart and be there for people who may not have someone there for them. Like, I know how that feels. You know, I grew up without having someone to open up to and not having someone in my life that I could relate to or that could relate to me. So that's the point of my videos. They might be all over the place. One day I might post about my hair, about my clothes. I might do a vlog one day in New York, like, and I may do a video like this. But I just hope that you just like my company, you know what I'm saying? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to see another video, comment down below your favorite emoji. Mine is like the one that's like this. Y'all have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching this, and stay blessed and stay tuned for more.